Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, you just can't seem to get ahead financially? Maybe every time you make a little progress, something unexpected happens, and it all slips away. There are times in life when it feels like bad luck, debt, and struggle follow you everywhere. But what if I told you that there's a simple way to clear that energy and allow money and good fortune to flow back into your life? It might sound strange at first, but today I'm going to tell you about a small ritual that can help remove the negative energy blocking your abundance. This ritual is surprisingly simple. You do it right in your own bathroom, and yet it carries a deep symbolic power. It's based on the belief that your home, especially the toilet, can act like a doorway for energy. Through it, both good and bad energy can come and go. That means if you're not careful, you could be unknowingly letting positive energy escape, while negative energy builds up inside your space. The home is where all energy begins. It's where your emotions, habits, and beliefs form the base of your daily life. If the energy inside your home is stagnant or heavy, it can directly affect your finances, your relationships, and your mental state. The toilet is a part of the house that many people don't think about energetically, but it's one of the most important areas to keep clean, both physically and spiritually. It's a place where we get rid of what no longer serves us, not just in a physical sense, but also emotionally and energetically. Think of all the times you felt unwell or tense, and after using the bathroom and washing up, you felt lighter. That's not only because your body released waste, but because your energy shifted too. This simple act of flushing something away represents release and renewal, and today we're going to use that symbolism to let go of financial blocks. Science, especially quantum physics, tells us that the world outside us reflects what's happening inside. If your inner world is full of fear, doubt, and worry, those same patterns show up in your outer reality. You might find yourself stuck in cycles of debt or scarcity, no matter how much effort you put in. On the other hand, when you start to shift your beliefs, emotions, and energy, the outside world begins to mirror that change. That's why rituals like this work so powerfully. They give your mind a physical action to match your intention. When you combine physical cleansing, positive visualization, and strong emotion, you create a powerful vibration that attracts new outcomes. The point is not that the ritual itself magically changes your bank account, but that it helps you realign your inner energy so your outer world can finally match the prosperity you've been seeking. I know this might sound unbelievable, but stay with me. Let me tell you how something as simple as flushing one clove of garlic changed my financial situation completely. A few years ago, I was in one of the hardest seasons of my life. I had lost my corporate job suddenly and without warning. One day I had a good salary, health insurance, and security for my family, and the next day it was all gone. I thought it would be easy to find another job, but the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. My savings disappeared faster than I imagined. The bills kept coming. Calls from collection agencies started filling my voicemail. My stress levels went through the roof. I wasn't sleeping well, I was losing weight, and every time I looked at my bank balance, I felt sick to my stomach. It wasn't just about the money. It was about my sense of control, my self-worth, and the safety of my family. I tried everything I knew, prayers, vision boards, positive affirmations, but nothing changed. The more I tried to force money to come, the more hopeless I felt. One evening, when I was completely drained and ready to give up, I got a call from my old friend James. He told me he knew something that could help me. He sounded so serious that I agreed to meet him the next day. When we sat down, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "What if I told you there's a way to erase your debt overnight with nothing but a clove of garlic?" I laughed out loud, thinking he was joking, but he didn't laugh. He leaned forward and said, "I know how it sounds, but this ritual saved me when I was in a similar place. I almost lost my house, but this changed everything." He started to explain the steps carefully. I listened, half skeptical and half curious. He told me that the first step is to clean your bathroom completely. The bathroom, he explained, holds a lot of energy, good and bad, because it's where waste leaves your body. That's why it's essential to keep it clean. Don't let trash or old papers pile up in the bin. Empty it regularly. And one of the most important things, he said, is to always close the toilet lid when you're not using it. He explained that when the lid is open, the toilet becomes a doorway that allows energy to escape from your home. Not just physical waste goes down that drain, but energetic waste too. If you live in an apartment or shared building, the pipes connecting everyone's toilets can even let other people's energy seep into your space, especially at night. That's why it's crucial to close the lid. It seals your energy and keeps outside negativity from entering. Then he described the actual ritual. You take a fresh clove of garlic, a symbol of protection and cleansing in many cultures. On one side of the garlic, you write the full name of the person or company you owe money to. On the other side, you write the exact amount you owe. Once that's done, hold the garlic in your hand, sprinkle a little cinnamon over it, and close your eyes. Cinnamon represents prosperity and attraction. As you hold it, take a few deep breaths and imagine all your debts disappearing. Picture your bills vanishing, your bank balance turning positive, and your heart filling with relief and gratitude. Then say out loud several times, "All my debts are now paid in full." When you feel ready, drop the garlic into the toilet and flush it away, watching it disappear from your life forever. At first, I thought the idea was absurd. How could a clove of garlic and a few words of intention possibly erase thousands of dollars of debt? But I trusted James. He wasn't the type to make up stories or believe in nonsense. So I decided to give it a try. That night, I followed every step. My hands trembled as I wrote the name of my credit card company on one side of the garlic and the amount I owed, $1,346, on the other. I sprinkled a bit of cinnamon, closed my eyes, and repeated the phrase, "All my debts are now paid in full," again and again. As I visualized, something inside me shifted. I imagined opening my mailbox and finding no more collection letters. I imagined logging into my bank app and seeing a zero balance on every debt. Tears rolled down my face as I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. I realized that for the first time in months, I felt free. I wasn't sure what would happen next, but I felt lighter, as if the burden had already been lifted. When I finally flushed the garlic down the toilet, I whispered goodbye to my fear and scarcity. I laughed a little through my tears because it felt both silly and profound at the same time. That night, I slept better than I had in months. Something deep inside told me that a shift had taken place. The next morning, I woke up feeling refreshed and strangely hopeful. I even had a vivid dream that I found a briefcase full of money on my doorstep. I brushed it off, thinking it was just my mind processing everything from the night before. But when I checked my email, I saw a message from my bank. My main debt, the same $1,346 I had written on the garlic, showed a balance of zero. I stared at the screen, blinking in disbelief. How could this be? I hadn't made any payment yet. Yet, there it was, paid off. Before I could even process it fully, my phone rang again. It was a potential employer calling about a job I had applied for months earlier. Within a week, I had an interview, and not long after, I was hired. From that day on, I never looked at simple rituals the same way. I realized that it wasn't the garlic alone that created the miracle, but the shift it caused inside me. By performing that act, I told my subconscious that I was done living in fear. I was ready to release the past and invite abundance. When your inner energy aligns with that kind of certainty, the universe begins to respond in ways you can't always explain logically. Maybe the garlic ritual works because it's symbolic, or maybe it works because it helps you truly believe again. Either way, the result is real. So, when you do this ritual, don't think of it as magic in the traditional sense. Think of it as a physical way to release the energy of lack and welcome the energy of prosperity. You're flushing away the worry, the fear, the shame of debt, and creating space for something new. Energy flows where attention goes. When you focus your attention on gratitude, relief, and possibility, you begin to attract experiences that match that vibration. Whether you call it science, energy work, or faith, the truth is simple. Your outer world always mirrors your inner one. Clean your space, release the old energy, and fill your heart with the feeling of already having what you desire. Because abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And sometimes all it takes is a simple act, even as humble as flushing away a clove of garlic, to remind yourself that you have the power to change your reality from the inside out.